A stranger insults you in public. Your blood boils, your fists clench. But the person standing next to you, who heard the exact same words, just smiled and walked away. Same insult, same moment, two completely different worlds. What did they know that you didn't? There's a psychological weapon used by hostage negotiators, therapists, and even CIA operatives that makes you emotionally bulletproof. It's not about being tough, it's not about letting it go. It's about rewiring how your brain processes conflict so that triggers simply bounce off you. In the next few minutes, I'll show you why people attack you, the hidden addiction fueling every toxic interaction, and lay the groundwork for a method that makes you psychologically untouchable. But first, you need to understand something disturbing. Here's what nobody tells you about conflict. Most arguments aren't about winning, they're about feeding. Think about the last time someone provoked you. Maybe they made a passive-aggressive comment, maybe they questioned your intelligence in front of others. You felt that surge, right? That burning need to defend yourself? That feeling, that's exactly what they wanted. Because toxic people don't attack you because they hate you.
They attack you because they're starving for something they can't generate themselves, emotional energy. It's like a vampire that can't produce its own blood, so it hunts for yours. When you react, when you defend, explain, or fight back, you're not standing up for yourself, you're feeding them. Every sharp reply you give, every frustrated explanation, every second you spend justifying your worth to them is fuel. You think you're defending yourself, but you're actually giving them exactly what they came for: your attention, your time, your emotional investment. Psychologists call this narcissistic supply, and you've been the supplier without even knowing it. And here's the pattern you've probably lived 100 times. Someone throws bait, a provocative text at midnight, a subtle insult wrapped in a joke, a question designed to make you explain yourself. They don't want answers, they want sparks. And here's the trap. We've been taught that silence equals weakness, that if you don't defend yourself, people will walk all over you. So we engage, we explain, we argue. But here's the brutal truth. You cannot reason with someone who's emotionally invested in misunderstanding you. Think about it. How many times have you lost your peace just to prove you were right?
And how many times did you actually win? In those heated moments, they're not listening to your words. They're feeding off your emotion. The more you explain yourself, the more power you give them. And here's what makes it worse. The people who provoke you most are often the ones who know you best. They know which buttons to push. They know what you're insecure about. They know exactly how to phrase something to get under your skin. An ex who texts you knowing you'll analyze it for hours. A family member who brings up your failures disguised as concern. A coworker who raises their voice in meetings because they know you'll defend yourself. These people fish with emotions, not words. They're searching for something that shakes you because that makes them feel in control. But then something interesting happens. You meet someone who doesn't take the bait. Someone who hears the insult and treats it like background noise. Someone who can sit in a room full of passive aggression and remain completely at ease. They're not ignoring the toxicity. They're refusing to participate in it. What's their secret? They understand something crucial. You cannot win a game you refuse to play. If this is hitting home for you, then hold on to that thought, because understanding this simple rule, it changes everything.
Let's talk about the actual technique therapists teach their clients when they're dealing with narcissists, manipulators, or anyone who just thrives on emotional chaos. It's called the gray rock method. The concept is simple, but it's devastatingly effective. You make yourself as uninteresting and unresponsive as a gray rock. No emotional highs, no defensive lows, just calm, neutral, almost boring responses. Here's how it works in practice. When someone tries to provoke you, you respond with the absolute minimum of emotion and information. Short answers, a neutral tone, no explanations they can twist, no justifications they can attack. They say, "Why are you always like this?" You say, "I don't know. Don't you have anything to say?" "Not really." "You're just going to ignore me?" "I'm listening. I just don't have much to add." You see, you're not being rude. You're not being dismissive. You are simply refusing to be the source of drive they're desperately seeking. And the beautiful part, this works because it removes the very reward they're chasing. But there's a critical piece here that most people miss. This isn't about suppressing your emotions. It's about choosing where you invest them. You can feel everything, the anger, the frustration, the hurt, but you don't have to perform those feelings for someone who will weaponize them against you. Real strength isn't about reacting fast. It's choosing not to react at all. Think of yourself like Wi-Fi. If they can't connect to you, they can't drain your energy. Save your depth for people who have earned it. Save your vulnerability for relationships that honor it. Save your explanations for those who actually want to understand. Everyone else, they get the gray rock. When you master this, something profound happens. People are still talking. They're still trying to provoke you. But you don't feel a thing. Their voices just fade. And for the first time, you can actually breathe. You stop being controlled by other people's chaos. That coworker who used to ruin your entire day with one offhand comment, now they're just background noise. That family member who could always push your buttons, they're still pushing, but nothing's happening. You're not reacting because you finally realize their opinion of you is not your emergency. Their need for drama is not your responsibility. Their inability to regulate their own emotions is not your problem to solve. This is what true peace looks like. It's not the absence of conflict, but the presence of choice. You choose what affects you. You choose what deserves your energy. You choose who gets access to your inner world. And here's the twist nobody ever sees coming. When you become unbotherable, you become unstoppable. Because the person who can't be baited into drama, who can't be manipulated through emotion, who refuses to waste energy on pointless battles, that person has an unfair advantage in life. While others are exhausted from arguing, defending themselves, proving themselves, you're focused on what actually matters. While they're stuck in these endless cycles of reaction, you're building something real. That's the ultimate power move. It's not about fighting better. It's about refusing to fight at all. You become the gray rock, solid, unmoved, unaffected. And in your stillness, you find a strength that no argument could ever give you. When you stop playing their game, the game ends. Their problem isn't you. It's that you stopped feeding them. So next time someone tries to pull you into their chaos, just remember, you don't owe anyone a reaction. Stay solid. Stay still. Be the gray rock. If this message shifted something in you, hit subscribe and drop a comment below. I read every single one. Make calm your default. Because the one who can't be triggered can't be controlled.